Right. So as part of our ServiceNow development itself is concerned, functionally we discussed already. Now, from the technical perspective, from ServiceNow developmental perspective, we need to create some app and we can configure the application, all the things that we have to be performed. Being a functional as well as a technical consultant working on the ServiceNow, irrespective of the kind of roles that we have. Either we may be an analyst role, right? So we may be a development role or an admin role. This is essentially important. So in this regard, so how an app to be created and how this can be configured, right? So these things will be discussed in the coming days. Now I've taken an application. So for that, an application I have taken in it, like which is a safety incident, right? So this is what an application that I am creating. Okay. So the description first we have to write for this. This application is to manage safety incidents within the organization. And organization normally. So normally this application requires any kind of tables to store incident details by defining the roles of the users and administrators. At the same time, we can automatically process with workflows, etc. Everything can be done. So for this, we need to, yeah, so we need to create the description wherein here you can see wherein you have an option called creating an app. So here we have to create an application first, right? So application creation is the first thing from the technically, from the developmental perspective, because we have to configure according to our business rules, according to the organizational roles and all that. So we have to create it. So wherein we need to provide some basic information for the application that we have created. So what are the required basic information about for what purpose this application is being creating, right? So what will be the use of creating it, this fine, this application, everything that we have to be seen. So this is an application we have created, you can see, right? So basic, we need to provide some basic information here. At the same time, what are the list of configurations that are to be performed, everything that we can see. At the same time, if you want to record any kind of details, we can record here. Need to define any kind of roles for the existing application that we have initiated. So we can create even defining roles can also be done. Here you can see there is an option called add form. Okay. So if you want to create any kind of form, we can create this form. Advantage in using ServiceNow is it is not something that to be created from the scratch, because from the creator studio itself we can create and we can use the default template. Okay, so we can use a default template. So using the default template we can create all that, right? So but providing whatever the required information that is to be provided, everything we have to be provided here, right? So we have creator studio default template is available. So if you want to update all this, we need to update the information based upon the data that we have created, that we have updated and all. If you want to apply this to continue and all, so we can create. So, okay, so a short description, as I mentioned you. So short description is to manage safety. Right, so manage safety. Long description I'm mentioning you. So to update, manage safety conditions. Safety conditions for any incidents. For any incidents, right? So this is something that has a long description that I have given. Save and edit form. Right. So we have saved it and we have edited the form. Okay, this is initially form creation is important. So apart from configurations, etc., all that. So first of all, we need to create a form. So for this form, what are the required single line elements that we have? Or any kind of multi-line text we need to be updated, or if you want to put any kind of drop-down box to the existing application, everything that can be done. Okay, so we can create whatever are needed and all, everything that we have to be created. So this is all something that we, for example, some single line test we need to mention. Okay, so if you want to update, or if you want to initiate any kind of single line text, or if you want to add any automation to the existing one. Okay, because if you want to any automation, we can do that. But if you want to perform automation, first of all, we need to form the elements first, right? So we have to edit the form. Okay, so at the same time, we need to update all the required information, or if you want to add any new information from the existing one, if you want to be taken, so we can take it from someone, all right? So if there are any things that are to be updated, or if you want to create any kind of check boxes, want to update any kind of new check boxes to the existing one, so everything that can be done. So this is the first thing from the developmental perspective when we are working from the technical side. To create a form, creation of form is the first and fundamental thing when we are creating any application, which is, as an example, I've taken safety incident is an application that we have taken here. So for that, how to create a form is something that we have to be performed here. So how this form to be created and how this form elements to be updated into the existing one that we have done, and how this can be automated. So, and or else if we want to add any kind of new forms to the existing one, followed by recording the system fields or any kind of list configuration updates that will be discussed in the next session.